Welcome to another edition of Mass, Mats, and Mayhem. I am your host, Justin Harvey. You can find me on Twitter at JustinHarvey75. And I am joined today by my co-host.
This is Casey Nielsen, a.k.a. Lucha Gringo, at Lucha Gringo on Twitter. What's up?
And the Ginger Fart Box, Byron Turk, is not here today. He is MIA. He's up in the mountains or fishing or camping or doing something clearly that is not as important as this.
He's decomposing in my locker.
I don't know what. If I had my choices to be on vacation or to be doing the podcast, I think I'd be doing the podcast.
Right. This is like a vacation every week.
It is. And it's fun and it's exciting. And Byron's going to miss out. We got lots of free stuff this week. We got all sorts of swag here that he's not going to get a part of.
Oh, yeah. Dude, the trampoline was a surprise. I didn't even see that coming.
Catering brought by some lovely breakfast. This is just for Urban.
Sounds delicious.
They brought by some muffins and all sorts of stuff to the studio today. We got good stuff here.
Yeah, shout out to Craft Services.
So anyway, very exciting week in MMA and Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
As I'm chewing, this has got peanut butter on it. They're going to take forever to chew. Urban, you didn't tell me I shouldn't eat peanut butter, man. I need to take podcasting lessons from Urban.
Somebody get this guy some milk, please.
Oh.
Craft Services, PA over there. What's up, PA? Get this guy some milk.
Oh man,
chop chop.
It was a big budget show here, guys. Big budget. But yeah, a shout out again to Urban, JMAN. Love those dudes. And in fact, if you guys are fans of theirs, you'll want to stick around because second half of this podcast today, we're going to talk some MMA. Today, we're going to start with Lucha first this week. But stick around because J-Man did me a solid because we knew Byron's sorry ass wasn't going to be around this week. So J-Man, he's been wanting to talk some MMA for a while. So I recorded a segment earlier in the week with J-Man, and you guys stick around to the end and check that out because that man does not just know his wrestling. He knows his MMA too. I mean, that dude's doing 3 heels, 1 face. He's doing last real heels about Lucha. And now he's coming on MMM show and talking MMA. This is the most well-rounded podcaster out there, people.
Yeah, we should replace Byron with him. Totally.
With just phone calls from J-Man can have replaced Byron.
Yeah, exactly. Just talking about J-Man could replace Byron.
It happened. So sorry about your luck, Byron. Maybe. Just maybe we'll let you back on the podcast next week.
Sorry about your damn luck, son.
Before we jump into Lucha Underground, we've been talking about this a little bit, and fans of Lucha, bear with us here because this will play and this will relate to you guys too. But let's talk AAA for a minute because there's been a whole lot of craziness going on with one Octagon Jr. Tell me what you know, Casey, because Casey's got this wealth of knowledge, people, that you guys probably don't even realize he's got.
Okay, if you haven't really learned about this yet, look up the Octagon Jr. Octagon video. It's an incident. You just look it up on YouTube. You'll find it. You'll find it immediately. Basically, AAA had an Octagon Jr. once. It was Kalisto from WWE, but Pentagon came after him. He had to flee the country and change his identity. That's not what really happened, but that's what I tell people happened. And basically, he just said, guys, don't give me this fucking character because I'm going to go to WWE. They did it anyway. He went to WWE just like he said he was going to. And they didn't have an Octagon Jr. And, they have a Pentagon Jr. They debuted at the same time to be enemies with each other. So Flamita worked for AAA for a while. They even came up with a new character for him, Fireball, and a slightly different mask and everything. And he would do some shows, but he also worked a lot for Dragon Gate in Japan, so he was over there a lot. And
he was doing Dragon Gate as Flamita, right?
Yeah, and he was still Flamita there. And when they were always saying, we're going to debut him and we're going to give him a huge push when he comes in once he's done with his Japanese commitments. And what happened is they brought him back and they made him Octagon Jr. again. Now, there's a problem with that, though. Between the first Octagon Jr. and the second, the original Octagon fucking left AAA. He's claiming ownership of the character. If you look up the copyright laws, he doesn't have ownership of the character, probably. But
he's certainly salty.
Yeah,
as we've seen.
he is a bitter, angry, drunk old man. And basically what he wanted to do is name his own Octagon Jr., which the reason he did is because he wanted someone to pay him for the fucking gimmick to pretend to be his son. And that's happened before with a certain blue masked wrestler, allegedly. You guys know who I'm talking about. He's currently missing.
MIA.
Yeah. We don't know where he is. But anyway, Octagon Jr. does the gimmick. Octagon starts going on Twitter calling him a midget, calling him gay, like all this stuff, right? Oh. He's just completely... This man should not be on Twitter. And Flamita just says, hey, look, I'm professional here. I was given the character. I'm just doing what I was given by a major promotion, and I'm treating the gimmick with respect. I'm sorry that we can't see eye to eye on this.
This guy's basically just showing up for work.
Yeah. It's like, hey, okay, if you had a job in the biggest promotion in your country and they told you to be Hijo de John Cena and you weren't really his son, you'd fucking do it just so you would have a job, right? So it's like, this guy, this is the biggest push of his career probably, because if you look, La Parka, AAA, he was originally a fake La Parka Jr. They just dropped the Junior.
Right.
He's huge. He's their main eventer and has been for years. So it's like this would benefit him to be Octagon Jr. Well, then there was the incident that I told you guys to look up where Octagon Jr. was at an autograph signing and Octagon fucking showed up with guys with guns that were his bodyguards.
Yeah, he came strong.
Yeah.
He came real strong.
And real drunk.
Yeah.
And he started like a physical altercation, started trying to rip the dude's mask off and shit. It's all in the video. Watch it. But lately this week, there was a long Facebook post by Flamita, as Flamita, saying that he's leaving AAA now and he's going back to being Flamita, which sucks because I was hoping it would not go that way and he wouldn't cave. I mean, he was completely professional during this confrontation that happened, right. And I don't think I would have been. I think I would have tried to be Mr. Tough Guy and got myself shot if I was in his fucking position.
You would have, and you'd be dead right now. But at the same time, I don't know if it would have gone that far, but it was certainly a vicious confrontation if you watched the video. There was certainly bad intentions there. And I don't know, I mean... It feels to me like Flamita didn't even care that much about the gimmick to begin with. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So maybe to him, he's just like, good riddance, whatever. I'm not dealing with this BS. I've got some other opportunities out there, and maybe I can go somewhere else.
And he's already getting booked other places, which is good, as Flamita.
Right.
And it's like, Well,
so then that brings me to my question of our favorite other place, which happens to be Lucha Underground. Now, Lucha Underground, however, does have some ties to AAA. Mm-hmm. Would it be a bad look if Flamita were to show up with a gimmick, whether it's Flamita or something else, in Lucha Underground with the situation with AAA? Like, is he leaving AAA on good enough terms? Do you think that would put Lucha Underground in hot water if they were to bring him in? What is your feeling on it?
Well, I think that we already have an example of that right now. If you look at Rey Mysterio.
Right.
He's supposed to be completely done with AAA right now, and he's still in Lucha Underground. So if he's the one that sets precedent, he's a pretty big one to do that with. But if we see other people follow suit, it's all good. I know there's a lot of money issues with AAA, allegedly. Dudes not getting paid what they're owed and all that, and it's almost sounding a little ECW-ish sometimes.
Right.
So maybe going to Lucha Underground and getting a little extra money is the way to go for some of these dudes that aren't getting used anyway. And it's like with the change in booking in AAA, a lot of the guys that were Conan's guys aren't getting the pushes that they got when they were Conan's guys. So if they can go and get push elsewhere, make a name for themselves, that's the way to go. Not saying Flamita was one of Conan's guys. I don't know.
Right.
But he's young and a good wrestler, so he probably was, because that's the kind of stuff that Conan was trying to do.
Well, I mean, who's in Lucha right now that has still strong AAA contracts or affiliation? You got what?
Drago,
Taya, Aerostar.
Yeah. Phoenix,
Pentagon.
Yeah, Pentagon Jr. And not a whole lot more, really.
I mean, those are some stars that you really can't afford to lose. So
right, and Mil Muertes is probably the highest up on AAA cards.
Right.
So it's like he's probably the one. Now Pentagon's getting main event matches too over there.
But that might in part be because of Lucha Underground. I mean, he got over so huge in Lucha that he's almost undeniable anywhere else now.
He did, and he in a very short period of time, he was kind of the top heel that they had because everyone else left and Pero died.
Right.
So he was like the top heel, and you know, there wasn't a lot to choose from. So it was him and Phantasma is the biggest Rudos in the company.
Yeah.
And so he kind of got pushed up to main events, not just because of Lucha Underground, but also because he got to do a lot of high profile matches against Rey. And him hanging with Rey Mysterio really elevated him, which is cool.
Which is good. I mean, and that's honestly a guy like Rey that's been around that long. Hopefully he is giving the rub to some of these other guys, you know?
Yeah.
And it's so weird because even now I look at pictures of Rey and it's like the dude still looks young.
Yeah.
But I mean, he started when he was, you know, an infant pretty much.
I think that he's coming up on 25 years as a wrestler.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And he still wrestles
crazy.
like he fucking wrestles. And it's like, I mean, he's not as fast as he was. He's a lot bigger than he was, though, you know, like muscles wise. And
yeah, but
it's
just
just
at the same
like
time, he still does a lot of high spots. He still gets in there and works hard. He's still,
Yeah.
I mean, just running back and forth across the ring at my age, and Rey is close to my age. Hell no, man, I would be gassing like two times around the ring. I'd be gassing.
And it's
Rey's
fucking
just-
crazy when you think about it, because I think I've been a fan of his since he was like 18 years old or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, holy crap. And then I've gone back and watched stuff before that, and he was just as awesome.
I mean, I was a fan of ECW Rey.
Yeah.
And I think I was in high school then, and he was, I think Rey's maybe 1 or 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
But I mean, he looked like a baby then. I probably looked 20 years older than him then.
Yeah, when he went backstage, everyone thought somebody brought their kid to the shows. And then they saw him wrestle, and they're like, holy shit, dude, we shouldn't have said that.
But you know, my favorite Rey feud of all time has to be Unmasked Rey with Randy the Macho Man. I'm kidding, people. I'm kidding. That's the worst Rey feud ever. He should have never lost the mask. I don't understand what WCW did at that point in time. It was ridiculous.
Favorite match of all
Oh.
time is him and Eddie at Halloween Havoc for the Mask versus Cruiserweight title.
That's huge.
And that's still my favorite match of all time.
That's actually a really, 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 really good match, which I haven't seen in forever.
I'm pretty sure that won match of the year that year in both Pro Wrestling Illustrated, which it definitely won there, and like the Observer Awards
Right.
too, which when you look at the Japanese competition that year from All
Stiff.
Japan,
Literally
yeah,
stiff competition.
it's like it's a big deal that one won.
Well, so back to the Flamita thing. I hope he lands somewhere.
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. It'll be interesting to see if him coming to Lucha Underground in some fashion is acceptable. Obviously, I don't think he'll be showing up with the Octagon Jr. gimmick. I don't know what they're going to do with that gimmick now, which stinks because some of those masks are dope.
Yeah, they are. I've seen them up close, and they're amazing.
The gimmick is one thing, but man, those masks are seriously dope. So
And he
kind
didn't
of a
do
shame.
dumb shit like get his mask tied to the ropes in every match like Octagon does. So,
Yeah.
you know, they would always get, you know, the little headband and tie it to the ropes and beat the shit out of him. Good times.
Well, let's see if he shows up. I don't know. In other Lucha related news, Carly, KLP, or Katrina, as you all know her and love her on the show, she did a Squared Circle Reddit AMA on Friday. Just wanted to shout that out and give her some love for answering my question, because I asked her where the lick of death came from, if it was something that came up as a gimmick or if it's something she came up with.
And what did she tell you?
She said that it was her idea. And I was like, oh, what did you do to yourself? Were you not thinking about it? And, you know, there was tons of questions on who's the best tasting wrestler that you've had to lick and this and the other. And because, I mean, with a gimmick like that, that's obviously what you're going to ask, because everyone sees it and it's just like,
Especially when she has to lick Drago with all that shit on his face.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
She said Phoenix was the best tasting one that she had to lick. I imagine that that's probably correct. He actually looks less sweaty and probably cleaner than most wrestlers. And he also doesn't have a weird latex mask or anything. So
Yeah, because like when we were celebrating with Drago after Believers Backlash, we had to like all kind of crowd around him and hug him and stuff. And you get kind of gross with all that makeup and shit.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that I feel for all the wrestlers that have to put on makeup and a mask on top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, even Pentagon and his deal, like, I just wouldn't want to do it. It looks like it would be just gross after like 5 minutes.
Especially if you like try to sell a mask afterwards. I mean, I guess that's a way to tell if it's ring used or not from guys like that, because they have like makeup and shit on the inside. You know? But yeah, man, I did not see that AMA, but I do know that Lucha Underground is trying to make that a regular thing with Reddit. That they're going to have people do that at least like once a month or something like that.
Which is another cool thing about Lucha is like they're just trying to stay connected to their fans, and because they're not as huge as WWE, they're using the avenues that are out there. You know, their social media department is always on top of it because a lot of people can't necessarily watch the episodes at the same time, or, you know, to build the hype up. They release a lot of GIFs and stuff like that other promotions don't do, so you can see some of the action. They're doing stuff like using Reddit and Facebook and Twitter. So
exclusive videos on Twitter.
Yeah,
which we got interviewed for. I think we can say that.
Yeah, which was really cool. And I actually kind of want to talk about that because one of the things, you know, and we'll jump into talking about the episode in a minute, but one of the things that's cool, like this past weekend for me, was probably one of my best experiences going to Lucha Underground. You know, we show up there in the morning, you wait in line, you get to hang out with all the cool Lucha Click people that show up there, and a lot of great people in line. Like if you do go to a taping, just start chatting with some people. You know, most people are really friendly, and once they know you're a Lucha Underground fan, like you have more in common than you would ever even realize.
And challenge me to the wrestling name game, because I will fucking destroy you.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Like I haven't even thought about trying to challenge Casey Mike. My memory of wrestlers' names is so weak. Especially my ability to recall them quickly. Casey will destroy you at this game. It's amazing. So if he is doing it, just watch him do it because it will blow your mind. Like he can remember wrestlers that you saw one time in 1983 and he'll remember their name. I don't know how he does it.
So it doesn't leave my brain. I don't know why. It just doesn't.
So, I mean, that's the first part of the experience. You get down there and you're hanging out with people waiting for the gates to open. Then you go in and there's the worst part of the experience, which is you got to get through the lines. You got to sign non-disclosure agreements. And yes, everybody who goes signs a non-disclosure agreement. So if you're seeing spoilers from those people, believe me, they're getting banned from the temple. If
shout out to
they are so banned.
Yeah. Shout out to the dumbass from ProWrestling.net that got himself banned by not only posting spoilers, but putting his name on it. Smart move, dude.
Yeah, don't say you're reporting live from some place you're not allowed to report live from. Not really very smart. And like, believe me, there's stuff that we would love to talk about that we don't talk about it because we have respect for the product. Those guys know us. They've asked everyone, not just us, everyone, like, hey, don't leak stuff. But
before every show.
Yeah.
Every single show.
Every single show. Don't do it. Don't leak stuff. Don't leak spoilers. Don't leak your bodily fluids. So, so this past weekend was amazing on Sunday. We actually got pulled out by some of the online guys, and a few other people did too. We weren't the only ones. I know a lot of people saw the pictures of us on Twitter and thought we were immediately, you know, working for the company or something. We weren't. We were just pulled out of line because we were there early.
We'd like to, though.
Well, I'll take a job. But so they pulled us out and they were just talking to us about like why we like to be believers, what we think is cool about Lucha Underground, who our favorite wrestlers are and whatnot. It was really cool. It's just like, oh, sweet. I hope they use that. And honestly, I was happy to do it because I hope that other fans who are doing it were as excited about it as we are.
Yeah.
You know, they picked the right guys because we were the ones that like, yeah, dude, we love Lucha Underground. So hopefully we brought some excitement and we didn't look like too nervous. And we're definitely not shills in the fact that we don't get paid to love this.
Right. I mean, we would be a fan even if we weren't going to the shows and just watching on
We would
TV.
gladly take checks to do this, but we don't get them. So
or just like permanent seats.
Yeah, permanent seats would be good.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm getting my next ticket request.
Oh.
Did you get the one? It's a weird process, guys, because some people who have been going for a long time get a little bit of advance notice. Some don't. I try to get some tickets on my own this time, and I normally go on other people's itineraries and whatnot. It's a complicated process. It's still worth it. So if you get a chance or if you see the public notice for tickets, you know, I almost don't want to tell you to try to get tickets because I don't want you to take my spot.
Yeah, your
it's
competition.
Pretty limited space, but at the same time, I still want everyone who's a real wrestling fan to get out there and see it live at some point in time because it's so amazing.
How many people is it supposed to hold? It's 200 or 300.
It's a few hundred. It's under 500 for sure.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's who gets to see a Lucha taping. They do 2 episodes. So this past Sunday, I actually wore a vintage 21-year-old Vampiro shirt.
Such a sick shirt.
And I had shown Eric Van Wagenen, who was the executive producer of the show, was really cool, hung out with us and talked to us for a while before the show. Just a really nice guy. And I work in reality TV, and he's worked on Celebrity Apprentice and some other reality stuff. So we were just kind of shooting the shit about reality TV and like had more in common than we knew, which is really cool. You know, there's a guy who's running the show who's like kind of from the same world I'm from. You know, he's one of the showrunners.
He's a good dude, man.
So big props to him too, just for hanging out. I mean, these are the guys. This is an executive producer, people. He could be in the back sipping lattes, but he's out in the front. He's talking to believers. He's just trying to see what's going on with the product, gauge the kind of the temperature, and see how people are feeling about stuff or whatever. And he talks to a lot of people. You know, he's just out there, you know, shooting the gift with people. And sometimes DJ will walk around and do it too beforehand. Usually in the temple and not outside.
Yeah, and Chris Roach too. He always at least says hi. You know.
I mean, so nice guys who are running this show too.
Definitely.
Like, when was the last time you saw Vince McMahon standing around out in front, or Stephanie or Hunter, one of these guys, you know, out at the line watching people sign in or whatever and talking to them just like casual and real people?
You know why?
Won't happen,
It's because
folks.
Lucha Underground doesn't fucking have active contempt for their fans.
No.
Yeah.
So, and you actually missed this because I think you were still outside during the intermission. So during the intermission, Vampiro, you know, he comes out to kind of get people hyped up. And this isn't a spoiler, folks, because this will not be on TV. He comes out and he gets people hyped up. Before the show, he was talking about China a little bit and gave mad respect to China, which was really, really cool. Got everyone fired up. And then the intermission between the tapings, because you're there for a while, you know, you got to get a breather in there. He comes out after the intermission and he's just kind of talking, and he's talking about old school and how much, you know, Lucha Underground means to him. And he's backing up towards me and Byron. And then all of a sudden, this fool turns right towards me and calls me out in front of the whole temple like, hey, this fool's got on a 21-year-old vintage shirt from the very first tattoo I ever got. That's old school. That's hardcore. That's the real shit right there. And I was just like, But, I mean, I just roll with it, and like it was amazing to me. Like, I got called out in front of the whole temple, you know, for my love of the sport, for my love of Vampiro as a character. And let me tell you this, back then I had a grip of wrestling shirts, but I had no individual wrestlers shirts except for I had a Junkyard Dog, and I think I had I don't even think I had a Hogan shirt. Like, I had an NWO shirt. I had a bunch of ECW shirts, but they were all just ECW. There weren't any wrestlers.
Yeah.
Vampiro was the only wrestler that spoke to me enough as a character for me to buy specifically his shirt.
That says a lot, man.
Yeah. I mean, so mad love to Vamp and Stryker and Evie Dub and those guys for hooking me up with an awesome moment. I know Casey's had some awesome moments in the temple too.
Yeah, I mean, Believers Backlash season 1. I mean, there might be more. Who knows?
Well, dude, let's be honest. Your face appears a lot.
Yeah. I think the editor just likes showing my face. I don't know.
I didn't see you this week.
No, I didn't either. Like, I could see myself in the audience, but I didn't get any like close-ups or anything.
Right.
I didn't get my seat that week.
That's why you weren't in the same spot. But
No.
I saw JMAN and Ashley were there. I saw.
I think I was kind of next to JMAN actually.
Yeah, he seemed like he moved around, and they could have been using shots from other times too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because what happens, guys, is when you're at the temple, if they're filming a dark match, sometimes they'll roll footage on the audience and they'll be able to cut it in. And here is a little inside secret that I will tell you, because I don't think this is really a spoiler. They've been having trouble with the Johnny Puto chant. And they've been having to edit it out of TV because I think Network is just like,
doesn't like it.
a little too far across the line.
So guys, please chant Johnny Culo. I've been told to tell everyone in line at the shows not to chant Johnny Puto
and Johnny Culo instead.
Yeah, Johnny Culo, Johnny Gordo, Johnny anything that isn't Johnny Puto. Okay. And this is a shout out because like I think a lot of the people that listen might be the people that go to the tapings.
Right.
Just don't do it. It costs them money to dub Johnny Zero over us every week, okay?
As much as we want to give Johnny all of our well-deserved hatred.
And it's like, I love the guy. He's super fucking nice, and he's a good dude.
Really over as a heel finally.
Yeah, it's just that if you're going to be that much of a heel, I'm going to boo you. Like Jack Evans, I'm always going to give that guy shit. But in real life, I hope he gets better, man. I heard he broke his jaw.
Yeah.
Jack, get better soon, buddy.
Well, let's be honest. That's probably the best thing ever, that he broke his jaw, because now we don't have to hear Jack for a while.
Oh, I see. I think that should be like part of his gimmick, that he gets his jaw wired shut and then he still tries to yell and he's just like,
be so awesome.
you know. And then his partners have to like, you know,
Oh, that fool.
translate. you
Love
know.
that dude, though. Honestly, he is probably one of my favorite pure heels out there right now. Like, and if you try to cheer for Jack just because he's so awesome, he will make you hate him. He will center you out and point right at you and say something nasty about your mother if he has to. He does not want to be your friend, especially at a show.
His whole victory had fake ass dreads. Like,
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I mean, dude is just vicious. He is like on time as one of the best heels of all time. But yeah, so I also, what I was going to say is I think a lot of our friends like Gus got on this week, and Ashley and JMAN got on, and I think part of it was they were trying to chop up the audio from the Johnny Puto chants during the Cage in a Cage match. So big props to all the Lucha Clique who got their faces on TV, but you know, at the same time, everybody don't chant Johnny Puto anymore.
Yeah, we got to watch that shit, guys. Seriously.
Anyway, so we talked about the Lucha Live experience, and you know, this podcast is not just I would say we do more of a Lucha breakdown anyway than just necessarily a review. So we like to talk about other stuff, but let's get into this episode because there's only 2 matches this week.
Yeah.
And
2 awesome matches.
at first I was just like, dang, only 2 matches, but at the same time that second match felt like 3 or 4 different matches anyway because of what was going on, and different guys were working for different parts of it, and like
they timed the
played
commercial
more to
breaks
the
like
end.
perfectly to split it up into separate matches almost.
Yeah, dude, we're talking about a match that had 3 commercial breaks in it?
Yeah.
It was amazing. And the cage match had 1 commercial break in
I
the
think
middle of
so,
it?
yeah.
It's hard to even remember. So the first match up is Johnny Mundo versus Cage. Love this dude.
Both these guys, man.
And Taya too. Honestly, Taya for the amount of work she's done over her whole career, which is not actually that much, I am very impressed with her still. Even from that cage match that she had as her debut singles match or whatever, I'm still impressed. And that was like a month and a half ago that aired.
That superplex to the tables on the outside was fucked up, man.
Yeah. And I mean, and she's working with 2 badasses in this feud, you know, getting to work side by side with Morrison and Cage. And at first I was a little worried that she wasn't going to get a lot of time because of it, but I kind of like where it's going. The only part about her gimmick that I haven't liked was when the sync was off on her audio last week, but I won't get into that.
See, you know what's crazy though is, you know, she got involved in this match a lot. You know,
did.
Climbing up and down the cage and all that. That's not easy. That almost ended Sting's fucking career once, you know?
I mean, so what? She climbed up with the belt, and
She got the kendo stick inside the cage.
Right, which is every good partner or valet's or manager's responsibility. If you can't get the kendo stick into the cage during the cage match and you're a heel manager, you're fired.
Yeah.
You are just flat out freaking fired.
And that led to my favorite spot of the match.
What was your favorite spot?
Okay, so, you know, Mundo beats the shit out of Cage with the kendo stick, right? And then Cage gets it from him. He keeps swinging. Mundo's doing all this parkour shit to get out of the way. And then Cage throws the kendo stick at him so that Johnny Mundo catches it, and he kind of spears him into the corner. And then he picks up Mundo, hits him with the Alabama slam, and as he hits the mat, the cane pops up, and then Cage just catches it in one hand. Fucking beautiful. Like that, I even said after the match, because Eric walked by us, I'm like, that cane spot was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Like, it was fucking amazing.
That's situational awareness right there, man.
And that was all one take. That wasn't some shit that they had to do a bunch of times. Like, you know, if something goes wrong, it might get cut from TV, but they're not going to repeat the spot usually. You know?
Surprisingly, a lot of things that I've thought were slightly blown spots have not been cut, and they just roll with them. They might cut it a little bit faster So the things move along because they've only got an hour show. They can't waste a bunch of time. Like
Yeah,
if
like
something is
last
really
week with
slow-
Aerostar. Yeah, like he was hurt a little longer than they
Right.
should. Yeah.
So they sped it up, but they still left the botch in there.
Yeah.
They didn't take it out. Like they're not by and large trying to lie to the audience when really they could.
Yeah, they could do
this
whatever
is
they
a TV
wanted.
show, people. They have editing. I mean, and honestly, they could do it like stunt performers. Like sometimes when they've ring announced something wrong, like if Dario or Melissa has announced something incorrectly, they'll just redo it.
Or the time that Dario, like, his voice was like completely broken.
God, that was hilarious. In fact, I think that was one of the first tapings I was ever at.
Yeah.
And back then, they also used to cut all the promos in English and Spanish.
Right.
So Dario would do all his promos both ways. And I think they pretty much stopped that now, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. And there was
main
another
characters
one.
will just speak English, but like Spanish-speaking AAA performers or whatever, they just come and speak Spanish, and then they just translate it one way or the other for the different broadcasts. But
I remember when Vampiro did his promo for Ultima Lucha on TV. Whoever edited that together was a genius because there were so many fucks and shits that got cut out of that. And I heard they have to do it on commentary too. But I'm like, oh my God, that was a completely different promo without all the swearing and calling Pentagon a motherfucker and shit like that.
I love the fact that Vampiro on commentary is always pushing it past where it's acceptable, because then by the time they do bring it back down, it feels like he's riding the edge of what is allowable the whole time. I mean, he always gets in a couple comments that are kind of slightly questionable, like, damn, and Stryker pushes it a little bit too, but Stryker will try to skirt around it or try to, use a double entendre or something funny to not say what he means, and Vampiro will just flat out say it, and it's just hilarious.
Yeah, like he'll say, I don't fucking like that guy. And he means it.
He means it, dude. Vamp is just a shoot of a man in general.
Yeah, it's great.
So, talking about Taya again in this match, she had the top of the cage dive.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. We saw a top rope moonlight drive, right?
Yeah, from Johnny that just fucking looked like it wiped Cage out.
Which, yeah, I mean, sick spot. And then Cage, especially for the first half of the match, was just power spot after power spot. We're talking power bombs into the cage, left and right, just like... I don't know how he got through that match without gas and with all that muscle, because he was throwing Johnny around.
Dude, that press slam, he hit him in the side of the cage, and then Mundo bumped into the apron between the ropes and the cage was pretty nasty, man. It's like, kudos to Johnny for bumping so fucking much for that stuff. Not that he would have had a choice.
I mean, but again, this was just another one of those matches where it's like, holy crap, man. And this is how they started the show. Yeah. This is the first match, high profile. And not to mention the stakes of this match are for an Aztec medallion.
Right.
Don't forget that, because, they downplayed it a little bit because the match itself and the gimmick with the cage was so huge. But, this was an Aztec medallion. And if you're not following the show, you get the 7 medallions are all given out as prizes. And then they come together in the Gift of the Gods belt. And those 7 people who have won them get to fight for basically the number 1 contendership. So.
Yeah. And then you can cash that in kind of whenever you want. It's not like Money in the Bank, but you got to give a week's advance notice so that Jefe can properly promote the match.
And this is one of the few things that Dario doesn't screw people over on. So if you can get a sure thing in the temple, you have to go for it, and you have to fight like your life depends on it, because there's no other sure things in. It's a guaranteed unique opportunity as opposed to one of Dario's sketchy pull it out of his butt unique opportunity.
And it's a guaranteed sick ass multi-man match too, to unite all the medallions, which is always fun.
So let's talk about Cage goes over.
Yeah. With the Steiner screwdriver onto a fucking chair.
Yeah. Huge closing spot.
I love that move so much since the Nintendo 64 days, man.
It was great. I mean, the whole end of that match, and Taya got handcuffed. I'm not going to say I was mad at that.
She got handcuffed to the cage so she couldn't interfere.
Yeah. Oh, that's why she was handcuffed. I didn't know that's why she was handcuffed. I kind of lost track of what was going on.
I know that you kind of phased out a little bit there.
Yeah, I was just like, first of all, I was popping crazy when she jumped off the top of the cage when she even got in the match. I mean, I didn't really think it was going to end well for her. I kind of felt where it was going. But,
yeah, exactly.
With the handcuffs and everything. But, I can't say I'm mad at Taya in handcuffs. Just not going to, I'll move on though. So our next match, and there wasn't a ton of backstage segments this week because a lot of things had already been set up. But our next match is huge, and Dario comes out right at the beginning of it to give us a little bit of announcement. And an announcement before a big match is usually not a good thing when it comes to Dario. It usually means a bad stipulation for somebody, or there's some other kind of twist. And it was some other kind of twist this time. It was the fact that one of the unlikely trio of Son of Havoc, Ivelisse, and Angelico was not going to be participating in the match today. And it was Angelico, one of the best high flyers in Lucha Underground, which, by the way, is insane to me because the dude is super tall.
Yeah, he's like 6'2", probably 6'3".
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Not really the size and shape of the guys that you normally see flying around like that. But
yeah.
Which is a shame because, a lot of people I think were looking forward to Angelico being in this match and seeing what he could do with all these performers. He's wrestled almost all of them before, except maybe Ray.
And it's not too inside to say that was a legit injury that took him out for quite some time.
Yeah.
I mean, it cost him the AAA tag titles also, and which he held with Jack Evans.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it sucks because the unlikely trio keeps getting hurt. Like, somebody gets fucked up, and it
is a shame because, and especially for the workers too, because workers, these guys have put in a lot of work for a long time to try to get somewhere in their careers. And then unfortunate stuff happens like this, and it's not really the company's fault, but they can't push you if you're in a hospital bed.
Right.
There's just nothing the companies could do about that. And it's like, here you have this great trios team. They got lucky with Ivelisse's injury that it came towards the end of season 1, and she was still able to actually go out and work and make sense of the storylines. And kudos to Lucha Underground for actually leaving the belts on those guys during that. But here we are leading into this huge trios match, and there's no Angelico. So Ivelisse and Son of Havoc, I keep wanting to call him by his other ring names. It kills me. But Son of Havoc, they're going into this solo, but that doesn't mean they don't have a chance.
Right. I mean, some of the other teams don't get along so well,
Well, I mean, which team? Like Joey and
the
Ricky and
team police
and
there.
Cisco.
Yeah, the cops. Well, not Cisco. He's not a cop.
Cisco would Cisco lose his damn mind if he knew he was wrestling with a bunch of popo?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Cisco doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who's doing everything on the up and up in his life. Not to say that he's shady. I'm just saying, like, Cisco seems like he got some street sense, some street knowledge.
What if he's been Councilman Delgado's employer this whole time? We don't know what he's up to.
That would be dope.
But we got Phoenix had a team with Jack Evans and PJ Black, but Phoenix was tapping into his dark side and doing some fucked up shit during this match.
Phoenix actually seemed like he was jiving good with those guys. Like Phoenix, but see, here's Phoenix. He's a smart guy. He knows how the temple works. He's got an opportunity. I think Phoenix is just like, I don't care who I'm with. I'm just rolling with this. I want gold again.
Yeah.
He's one of the few guys in Lucha that's held gold, and he knows what it takes to work your way back. And if that means dealing with the two biggest, gringo rudos in the game, that's what he's going to do. And he just went for it. And I think some of his spots were ridiculous, man. Getting into the match, like, and let's not forget that Ray, Puma, and Dragon Azteca are in this match too.
Yeah, let's not, especially
just those three guys.
Yeah, who get along and are fucking awesome. But
and they're the new Lucha Dream Team.
Yeah, they are.
They are the new Lucha Dream Team,
but Phoenix, man, if he wins this match. If he won, he would have every title in Lucha Underground.
Which is kind of what I was hoping for, to be honest. Yeah. I was really like... Because Phoenix is weird because he's super over with some people, and other people he just doesn't seem to register to.
Yeah.
Which it ticks me off. They just kind of lump him into... Especially a lot of the American fans have noticed, just kind of lump Phoenix into the generic luchador kind of category. And it's like, no, man... Phoenix is not on jobber status like that. He's not getting faded out like Kalisto in WWE. Like Phoenix, and this match should prove it to you. Like Phoenix is still top notch, high caliber luchador talent. Like this dude is at the apex of his game right now. I think this might be the height of his career personally.
Oh yeah, definitely right now. And it just keeps going. I mean, Grave Consequences remains one of the best matches in Lucha Underground history.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think people forget about it because it was kind of, you know, middle of season or whatever, and storylines kind of moved on from there. But it's just amazing, and love seeing him in this match. And the other thing I like about this match too is you've got pretty much people from all the different styles working in there. You know, you've got a lot of different styles being showcased in this one match. And the first segment, I kind of broke this up into my mind. The first segment, I was super impressed once again with Mr. Cisco.
Yeah. Yeah, he was awesome in this. I've been a fan of his like forever though.
Yeah.
Like you know, since probably 2007. So, you know, like a good 9 years. And he's super nice. He comes out and talks to the fans that are waiting in line and stuff like that too. So he's not only an awesome wrestler, but a good dude. Well, I'm always happy to see him get some success.
Yeah, and I'm glad he was in a high-profile match. I'm just kind of wondering at this point now, does he need another gimmick? Like, is there something else they can do with him? He's a solid worker, and he's always going to get matches, but I kind of want to see him get over, and like if he had a gimmick like Famous B or like Killshot has been getting, and some of these other just weird backstage gimmicks, and Cisco's been thrown into a couple of them, but you know, like I hope that the Joey and Reyes thing
doesn't overshadow him.
Well, no, but I hope it plays into him somewhere. Like I hope that he gets a little bit of the rub from that too, because dude, his in-ring work is amazing, and even when he's just bumping for these other guys. Like, you can't have 11 of the best luchadors or 10 of the best luchadors and one luchadora in the ring at one time and not have that one guy in there that can take the bumps like Cisco did. Yeah,
and I do also have to shout out the Psycho Realm, his finisher with Cortez, because that's a fucking awesome move.
Yeah, it is awesome. Oh, God, the thing that cracked me up on commentary during this part, Stryker and Vampiro throw out a "what about Bale? Whatever happened to that guy?" And I love that the announcers, and this is one of the things I love about Lucha Underground too. The announcers aren't privy to the backstage segments, at least not in the storylines.
No, and we're not supposed to be either, which is why we don't chant Popo at fucking Joey and Cortez.
Right. I mean, these cinematic features, and it's like I was just watching some WWE this week, and it's like everything that happens backstage. AJ Styles goes backstage, and you know, his buddies show up and they're talking, but then the announcers are referencing it because they're seeing it too. And it's a fake setup where it started off as an interview, and then they push the interview out of the way, which they do every week now, by the way. Like, is anyone in WWE allowed to get off an entire interview anymore? No. But in Lucha, the announcers don't know what's going on. The people in the believers don't know what's going on. Like, the backstage segments are just things that exist outside in the cinematic world, and they may play into the cage or not, but you don't reference them. Stryker and Vamp don't reference them.
Right. Ever.
It's just a cool little thing about Lucha, why it's different. You know, you may like it. It may or may not work. You know, maybe it sucks that the announcers can't use that stuff to promote, but I think it's great.
But it helps the storyline because it doesn't make the wrestlers look stupid for not watching their own show.
Right.
And like, you betrayed me. And then it's like, I could have just watched last week and I would have seen you planning to betray me backstage.
Right.
But I didn't see that, you know.
And it helps. Yeah, otherwise everybody would be on to Black Lotus right now.
Yeah, exactly.
She'd be in a world of hurt.
Right now, the actual like roster probably has no idea who the fuck she even is. So it's like, you know.
Yeah, like, is she going to make her way ringside ever? Oh, my God. She's got to get in a feud or something.
Well, she did once because she dressed up as a production crew member to try to, like, secretly stalk Dario. But I think that's all.
She's got to get some ring time eventually or something. She can't just be bodyguarding the door. She didn't even actually get to bodyguard Dario. She's just, like, guarding the door in the hallway next to the water cooler.
Right, and not guarding the door in the temple that all of us fans can just walk in
Yeah, exactly.
and ask for unique opportunities.
No one has done that recently, though.
No.
No one has done that. Somebody should do that. Just knock on Dario's door and say, hey, I'd like a unique opportunity.
I sit pretty close, but security there is scarier than Lotus is, so...
Yeah, security at the temple's no joke, man. And to whoever brought in a sharp object that one time, please don't come back.
Yeah.
We don't need any of that, man.
Banned for life.
I can't even wear my wallet chain anymore because of some other idiot that, like, I don't know, hit somebody with his wallet chain by accident or something.
Oh, Jesus. At least hand it to the wrestler to hit somebody. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, and I just use mine because I lose my wallet.
Yeah, me too.
So, what? Oh, God. Joey and Evilise.
She kicked his fucking ass.
Oh, man. Like, they started working, and, dude, Evilise is still really, really, really over. I mean, she's over.
Yeah.
The crowd freaking loves her.
And it's also like everyone just feels bad for her for getting injured in the first season too, you know? Like she was still defending the trios belts while injured, even though she wasn't doing much, and that's like such a huge babyface move.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, okay.
Well, it worked. I mean, the
Yeah.
decision to put her out there in the cast was probably a very smart decision because she hasn't even been working all that much this season. Like, we've seen her a lot in backstage stuff, and they've had a couple of matches, but they haven't been focused on that highly this season in general. I mean,
Except
she hasn't
for
been
her
getting
getting
a ton of time.
The title match in the first episode, though.
Well, no, that was great.
Yeah.
No, she got a huge push right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Then they got the team back together, and they've had a few matches. Like,
Yeah.
it's been slow, but it's like every 3 or 4 episodes when you see those guys.
Yeah, and it's pretty much that same breakdown for everyone.
Right.
Like we hadn't seen Pentagon in a couple weeks. We didn't see
Yeah,
Miller
but when
Matanza.
some of those guys get their segments are bigger and more impactful than I think the unlikely trios have been as
Which
of late.
sucks because if injuries keep happening and they have to break up because of that, it would really suck.
And honestly, I felt like the crowd during this match watching it was a little ticked that Evilise wasn't working in the match more. They can't be too ticked, though, because come on, there's 11 people competing in this match.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of spots to be had here.
It is kind of crazy how they did that 4 people had to be in at all times.
Right.
And that could have been a hideous clusterfuck of a match, but this was really good.
No, it was surprisingly good. So what was the first elimination? Evilise put out Cortez, right?
Yeah, because he didn't want to tag Joey back in, so he got rolled up and pinned.
Right.
So the police can't get along.
Nope.
Cisco gets fucked just by association here.
Which is great, and hopefully that keeps that storyline moving along, because I want to see what happens with them and Captain Hotness and Councilman Delgado and where that whole thing is going.
And the mysterious employer.
And the mysterious benefactor of the councilman.
Whenever they do like a mystery person that we don't see on this show, I get obsessed with trying to figure out who it is. Like I've been, the whole Matanza thing. Like I was so fucking into that before he debuted, and I still am because they just made him so awesome.
Yeah.
But so, hey, if that's the precedent here, whoever the employer is going to be someone pretty cool, I bet.
Who knows, man? I mean, they got Lamas to come out to just be the councilman. Maybe they're just going to hang on until they get a big guest star. And
it can be like, I work for the governor, and have it be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I'm aiming high here, folks.
I don't know that that's that high, because I don't think it's a secret that Mark Burnett's company does this show, and they also do The Apprentice.
Yeah, that's true.
And Arnold's the star of that show, so maybe
that could be physically possible.
Maybe they have some sway with the Goobinator, and they could bring him in, because if he were the guy, oh my god!
And he's in cahoots with Dario.
Plus, that would pop a huge ratings number.
And then he'll be like, "Thanks for getting rid of the guy that stole my name of Conan."
Oh, why's it got to be like that?
Yeah, he'll just go up and shake Mil Muertes' hand,
Mad heat.
Yeah.
Casey's causing beef with the Governator and Conan.
Oh, I love both guys though. Don't get me
Amazing.
wrong.
You're gonna start a feud, man. You're gonna start a feud.
Well, I don't really love Arnold. I love Conan the Barbarian, but Conan the wrestler, that dude's dope as shit, man. I love that guy. He's great.
And he's helped out a lot of people, whether you love him or hate him. He's put some paychecks in some people's pockets, so you can't hate on him too much. He's helped out a lot of wrestlers.
Yeah, exactly.
He may have screwed over a couple wrestlers to do it, but at the same time, you got to think a lot of it was out of just love for what he cared for. So
yeah.
So that was the first elimination. And then the good thing about some people being eliminated is that gives you more Jack Evans time.
Yes, it does. Wonderful Jack Evans time, where he called himself the baddest bitch in the building.
What would possess Jack Evans to do that? And it was so amazingly loud. I mean, you guys have to understand, if you haven't been to the temple, holy crap, it is deafening in there.
Yeah.
My ear is still ringing this week. It's Friday. We were there Sunday last.
Yeah.
And like, I had trouble hearing on Monday and Tuesday, mostly because Byron claps like a broken seal.
Yeah,
I don't know
he
what
does.
he's doing. But anyway, Jack is louder than the crowd. There's no microphone on Jack, people.
No.
Like, there's microphones on the cameras, and these are not close-up shots, so he's not really near a microphone.
No, and he's louder than me, dude.
He is just the hands-down loudest thing in the temple at all times. And it doesn't matter how hard he's been working, how much he's gassing or whatever. When he starts talking, so loud. When he screams, "I'm the baddest bitch in the building," I lost it. It was the funniest crap I had ever heard.
I was dying laughing at ringside, actually. I couldn't boo because I was laughing too hard, which happens a lot with shit Jack says.
My tweet last night was that, he was so loud in that spot that you could hear him on next week's episode. I mean, he's that loud, people, and so entertaining, and I hate him because that's the way he wants it.
Yeah, exactly.
Jack, if you want us to love you, bro, you just got to let us know, because we will. But if you want the hate, so be it. You'll get it.
Yeah, we'll hate you more than we hate Byron, and that's really saying something.
Yeah, you stink. You're such a heel, Jack. We hate you. So, who got the next...
Jack got pinned by Jack because PJ did some shenanigans.
PJ got the assist for that one.
So they're a good team together. I mean, I feel like Jack is replacing one awesome South African with a subpar South African right now. I do like PJ Black, but come on. Second best South African. Just saying.
Yeah, he is my second favorite South African wrestler.
Yeah, because fuck Adam Rose, seriously.
And for those who don't know, and Helico is from South Africa also, and happens to be awesome. But like we said, was injured for this particular match.
Yeah, I can only think of like 3 South African wrestlers, unless you want to count Colonel De Beers, who was just like not South African, and his whole character was being a piece of shit. I guess we have the Truth Commission too. Those guys. So
that still puts PJ as my second favorite.
Yeah, they're not gonna move the scale anywhere.
I like how he's been getting used. Like I honestly thought when he came in, I was just like, ugh, they're gonna put him in a bunch of like filler singles matches, and tryouts against guys who are coming in for dark matches or tryouts or whatever. And I just and I apologize to all the guys at Lucha. I thought that they just weren't going to use him very well, but they did.
Yeah,
putting him with Jack Evans is brilliant. It gives Jack somebody who can work a few spots too to let Jack rest, because as much as Jack is indestructible, he can't work that rate for a half-hour match.
And I was a little weary about that first segment that introduced PJ because it looked like he was trying to pick up dudes at hotels.
Is that what he was doing? Was he tapping his toe under the stall?
I think so. That's what it felt like. And then he accidentally did it to those guys that are in the masks that get beat up in every segment. That's a real problem in Boyle Heights. I cannot tell you how many times that we've been walking around. We try to go to that liquor store around the corner to get a soda or something, and dudes in masks jump out and try to fight you. It's fucked up, and you got to defend yourself, or you don't get to come to the temple. It's
Boyle
the rules.
Heights is a weird part of town, man.
Yeah.
I walked up by that little cart where it's like a taco cart or whatever. It's around the corner, and I can't even tell you what was going on over there. It was like 2 mariachi bands in a street fight.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Shit's rough in Boyle Heights.
Yeah, Boyle Heights is for real, y'all. Boyle Heights, and down where Lucha films is kind of barren because it's like it's in like a warehouse district, but you go up a couple tree blocks and there's some realness.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was the second pin. Jack gets to go over. Congratulations, Jack, because
yay,
that's what you get this week.
Yeah, that's it, and
that's it.
And then you get fucking worked the rest of the match
because here you go. this is the point in time where Ray, who has been kind of playing it quiet the whole time, and Dragon Azteca, who's been kind of mellow through this whole match, they finally get to start putting in some work. And
because Puma was pretty much doing everything for the team.
Puma was, and he was taking a lot of bumps too for the first half of the match.
And he was tearing shit up, doing some dives.
But oh my God, man! Like seriously, there was a lot of luchadors that earned frequent flyer miles in this match, because at one point I think there was like 8 or 9 dives in a row onto the floor. Just sick action. Like, if you like the high flying stuff and you missed this match, you need to get on iTunes right now and download this, because I couldn't even remember the spots. I was trying to take some notes or whatever for the podcast. Like, I couldn't even remember how many crazy dives over the rope into the ground happened.
We should have counted. That would have been kind of cool.
I counted, I think, 8 or 9 in a row at one point in time with no other spots. And then
it was kind of a train,
a break in the action, did some chain wrestling stuff, and then there were more dives.
Yeah.
Like, just a crazy, crazy match. And I'll also give PJ credit in the last segment. The dude bumped. Like, you know, it came to the point in time where you got to see your baby faces put in work and do some cool stuff. And PJ took, I don't know, like 80% of the bumps in the conclusion portion of this match. And I was very surprised at how good his work was, being on the wrong end of everybody else's moves. And then, you know, I was a little disappointed that Ray didn't get a little more work in. You know, Dragon Azteca and Puma did the double dive together to the outside.
Yeah, perfectly timed.
But then Ray did his spots, and sure enough, the Dream Team goes over, and they are your new Lucha Underground Trios champions.
Huge pop in the temple, one of the biggest ones ever. Well deserved.
Right.
Fucking loved this match. This was just such a great match, and the right team won, I think.
And I like this too for a few reasons. I think that as big as Puma was in the first season, this was a good way to keep him out of the title picture.
Yeah.
And Ray out of the title picture.
Let some new faces get in there.
It also, as much as we love Ivelisse and Havoc and Angelico, it gives some more prestige to the Trios belts. To be able to say that these 3 guys wore the Trios belts together, I think is huge just for the overall legacy of the belts.
And who the fuck is going to beat a team like that? You know, like that's huge.
Right. Well, I have a feeling that Dario is going to have it in for these guys. I think that you know, Dario's love of violence is not going to be good for these guys, because once you got those belts, like in any promotion, you're a target. But now I think Dario is going to not necessarily want to see them lose, but Dario likes competition, and that is part of what the temple is about. I think these guys are going to be thrown some stiff challenges, and they may not all be fair.
All right, well, I hope so, because that's going to make for some really interesting television.
Yeah, this is some amazing stuff. So I really like this trios match. And again, I wasn't disappointed that there was only 2 matches, because I felt like this trios match at each elimination was almost like a new match was starting. So I felt like I was getting 3 or 4 matches in this episode that really technically only had 2.
Right. And we got one little bit of storyline after that, which is just some fucking cool shit.
Oh, yeah. The part where Emperor Palpatine comes in and burns Darth Maul in the face.
This was fucking crazy.
To get him out of his hover round.
Yeah, Professor X Pentagon comes out, and you know he's in a dark place, and
he's not just in a dark place. He's in a rascal.
Yeah,
I know he took. This is all still from when he went through the announce table, right?
Yeah, Matanza broke his back, man, and this is fucking Nightfall Batman shit. He got his back broken by Bane, and now he's got to get himself back together again. But, you know, Batman didn't have fucking Vampiro pouring hot candle wax on his fucking face.
That was a little kinky, Vamp.
Yeah,
I just thought that was a little...
I thought they had to do it on the face to make it a little less like that, because then you're like, oh, that's fucked up. He's basically melting his mask to his face right now.
I love the spot, and in a week where we didn't have a whole lot of promos, I was like, it was cool that they saved up a really, really big one.
Yeah,
everyone's been
up
waiting to see like how this Vamp storyline was going to progress with Pentagon, especially after how things ended with those guys in the first season, and revealing Vampiro as the master, the maestro.
Yeah,
it was a pretty amazing segment, and I did think it was hilarious that Pentagon was in a Rascal or Hover Round or whatever that thing was.
Professor X. Chair.
Like, I was equally intrigued, like I'm reading a comic book or watching a sci-fi show. I was also laughing because some of it was pretty awesome. And it brought me to one question, though. Mm-hmm. How did Vamp get over there so fast?
Magic powers, man. He's obviously using some kind of black magic. You don't just melt a black candle on somebody unless you're doing something occult.
I guess he could have some in the world of Lucha Underground, and which I really hope they do. If Vampiro actually has some type of vampire powers, would be kind of cool for them to just kind of break that wall and go full into he's not just doing a goth gimmick, but he actually can turn into a bat or something.
Yeah, motherfucker turned into a bat. Exactly.
Actually drinking blood when he goes off his meds.
That's how he got there so fast. He turned into a fucking bat and flew there himself.
You heard it here on Mass Mats and Mayhem first. I guarantee you, no other podcast is talking about how Vampiro turned into a bat to fly to that segment with Pentagon.
Exactly. We better not wear our crucifixes to the temple just to be safe.
Oh man.
Don't want to, repel Vampiro. He's our homeboy.
Well, so in kind of wrapping up this Lucha talk, and I call these Lucha breakdowns and not necessarily a review, but in this Lucha breakdown, what I loved about this episode is, other than that segment, they weren't really creating a whole lot more. And this is something that I have problems with watching other wrestling, is that it feels like this never-ending chain of passing off gimmicks and passing off feuds.
Yeah.
And everything just keeps going and going and going because they want to rope you in. But at the same time, then it makes it feel like when you get to a payoff, there's no real payoff. Like WrestleMania had no real payoffs other than the fact that we're going to write Triple H out of the storyline for a little while. That was it. That was pretty much the only end to anything. And that gave you Roman Reigns as champion. Yay. Exactly. Like, the payoff wasn't even worth it. This episode was just flat out payoff. Yeah. You've been working this Mundo cage angle for a while, and there it is. There's a payoff. You get a cage match. Johnny gets his comeuppance. Brian Cage goes over. They don't have to continue this thing at all. If they want to continue it, they can. If they want to pass it off, they can, but they could do it next week. And you're still satisfied. You saw a real conclusion to a storyline. And then the same thing with the trios match. Like, Angelico's out hurt now, so you kind of have a wrap up to what's going on with them, and you hope to see Ivelisse and Son of Havoc probably either tag or in solos.
Right.
You do still have a little continuation with the undercover cops guys or whatever, but the match still played out, and you saw a finish and an ending to this story that's been building with the tournament,
right? And
with the Dream Team coming together. And now maybe their storyline can focus on going back to trying to avenge their mentor or whatever, and you can just branch out into the next new thing. But it's something that Lucha Underground's doing that other places can't seem to get right. Like, storytelling is about beginning, middle, and end. Casey's been a screenwriter. I've written stuff. Byron has. We'll all tell you, like, the key fundamental part of storytelling is beginning, middle, and end. Lucha Underground gave us an end, and we still want more.
And they're giving us two different distinct possibilities for the future out of both of those, because there is moving on there. We have new champs, so whatever they're doing is moving on. And we have Cage has a fucking coin now, so he can concentrate on winning that gift of the gods and then winning the title.
Yeah. And it's not that there's not more to the story, but it just can't be this never-ending middle. There has to be moments of conclusion. Like, Cage has his success right now, and he has his medal. I just thought that was really cool with Lucha Underground this week. Another stellar episode, and hopefully they can keep it up. There's a few more episodes left this season still.
Yeah, quite a few, I think.
I mean, there are, 26 episodes? So I think there's maybe 8 left?
Yeah.
7 or 8 left?
Oh, this is interesting.
It's starting to get down to it, though.
Yeah, because it's like... Yeah, I know what happens somewhat, so you guys keep watching.
It's weird because I wasn't at a lot of tapings in this period of time, but then I was at Ultima Lucha, so I know where some of it kind of leads, but I have no clue how it gets there.
Yeah, and I've been to
I'll
every...
be really excited to see how this stuff kind of...
Shit, man, I've been to every taping this season, and I still don't know how a lot of shit got to where it was going, and I'm so excited just to see the backstage segments that I'm going to keep watching the show every week, even though I was there.
So far, those segments have really been tying together perfectly. And I mean, I think that this Vampiro and Pentagon one this week it helps a big jump in the storyline. I mean, you know now that Vampiro is back there, and he is the thing that is getting Pentagon fired up, literally, to get back in there and get it done.
And these segments are only going to get more fucked up, I'm sure.
I'm sure it's leading somewhere because we got to get to some big finale stuff now, and they've got the room and the storylines to work it. The middle of the season is done, people. We're heading towards the finish line, so I would expect some big episodes of Lucha Underground and some big setups probably in the next couple of episodes would be my guess. Yeah. So we shall see. We are going to talk a little bit about MMA, and this week we have a very special guest that called in. So without further ado, I'm going to go back to that piece of tape from JMAN. We're going to let you guys listen to that, and then me and Case will be back, and we'll talk a little bit about our thoughts about what's going on in MMA. All right, joining us right now on Mass Mats and Mayhem, we have one half of the first Lucha Review podcast out there, people. That's right, the first one of the best ones out there. I listen to it myself every week. Not that you guys shouldn't listen to us too, but one half of the Last Real Heels is here with us today. J-Man, how you doing today, brother?
Woo, brother, I'm doing well. What about you, man? Let's hear the woo. Lucha Gringo requested a woo from you.
There it is. Let me give you a woo!
Yes. The Lucha Underground review, that was not us that said we were the first. That was what we were told by one producer. I'm not going to name any names, but that's what we were told. So,
well, I mean, even if somebody did beat you guys to the punch, you were certainly right there at the beginning, at the forefront of all of this and what a lot of us are doing, simply because we all love it. But you guys have put in the time, brother.
Well, it's all about the love of the products, man, the Lucha Underground, and it's the best fucking wrestling on cable. It's the best TV show, man. It's not even like it's crazy. I'm drinking some scotch, bro, in the rain, 10-year-old, on ice, no mixer.
When I'm relaxing, I like to get a little bit of ice, a little bit of Kettle One, nice and mellow.
Byron loves the vodka.
Yeah, he's a Tito's guy.
Yeah. He left some over here.
I'm not surprised, because he's wasteful.
Yeah, I don't understand that guy. We can get into that for a while, but I know we're going to talk about the MMA today.
Well, and that might be the thing that surprises people. Like, the reason why we wanted to have J-Man on the show, and the reason why the Mass Mats and Mayhem podcast is kind of set up the way it is because a lot of people don't believe this, but there is a huge crossover still between wrestling fans and MMA fans. And even more niche might be the fact that some of us are Lucha Underground heavy fans and MMA fans. But I know that you and Vinny Massaro and a few other people have been like, oh, dude, I want to come and talk about some MMA too because I'm talking about wrestling all the time. So I thought, no better week than this past crazy week in MMA to get the J-Man on here so we could talk a little bit about UFC 197, maybe some of this crazy Connor stuff. But so, I mean, like, going back to this past weekend, you watched the fight, right?
Yeah, I was recording a Three Hills, One Face during the prelims, so I only caught the main card. I had to cut the podcast off. I was like, yo, we got to cut it. We ran long. I was like, I got to catch this main card because I ordered, the fucking pay-per-view, so it's like $60 for the HD. Oh. So I was like, I can't miss a minute of this, so I got to get in here. And I watched the main card. I didn't catch any of the prelims. I have the Fight Pass, so I have them. I can watch them, but
right. Well, I mean, the prelims were not that much to talk about. I mean, I think that the main card really brought us some crazy stories, and in fact, I want to go right into the Barbosa Pettis fight. I know you and I were texting a little bit about it earlier, On this show last week, I said that I thought Barbosa was going to get the win, and a lot of people gave me crap about that. But I just feel like Edson Barbosa is kind of on the way up, and Anthony Pettis has been, I'm not saying he's not great, but he's had some hits and some misses. What'd you think about that fight?
Man, I thought Pettis would come back because because he was running so strong for so long, and he came from the WEC, and then I know he lost to Clay Guida, but then he came back and got that title, and he looked really good for a while. He had that highlight reel kick in the WEC, and
yeah, that was a definite highlight. That is an all-time highlight, by the way. That should be at the beginning of every mixed martial arts show for the rest of time. That highlight coming off the cage and all that crazy shit that he's done.
Yeah, man, for sure. And I couldn't believe. He felt this is like his third straight loss.
Yeah,
and that's crazy to me. And people usually get fired for that.
It's weird to me because I think he resonates as a champion in our minds because he had the belt for so long, but he actually only defended it one time.
He was on that Wheaties box, though.
And he was on Ultimate Fighter during that time, too. So, I think that carried his fame. We're all going to the grocery store, seeing his face every week, and then seeing him on Ultimate Fighter, and I think we all thought that he was maybe better than he actually is.
Yeah, man, that's definitely a possibility. The fight, though, he didn't, get completely demolished, but it was definitely one-sided pretty much.
And that's kind of what worried me about it, because, with a Clay Guida, everyone knew, okay, Pettis is a little more of a banger. He wants to stand. He wants to get that flashy shit in there, But, so with Clay Guida, it's I get it. Clay Guida is a nasty grinder who just put his chin on your face and rub it around. He is that grimy wrestler. So I get it. And there's not that many of them out there. So I figured, okay, that one we gave Pettis a pass. Then he comes back. He's got his belt, and he took care of Henderson, and he took out Gil Melendez with that guillotine in the second round or whatever. So it's he looked like he was on top of the world there for a while. And this fight on paper, a lot of people thought was a great fight for him because Barbosa's a banger. He's going to stand in there. He's going to trade. Pettis has a win over Cerrone, and everyone figured, okay, well, Cerrone can beat Barbosa, then obviously, and Pettis can beat Cerrone, then sure, logic tells you that Pettis should be able to beat Barbosa. But I just don't know if after those injuries and a couple of losses that he sustained, if he really had everything back. And honestly, he looked pretty good in this fight, but he just couldn't get there as quickly as Barbosa. Barbosa was just pulling the trigger on this fight.
Yeah, man, he clearly he was clearly out there to prove that he hadn't fell off, and he looked really strong. He had a highlight reel, that wheel kick a long time ago. I think it was in a Brazil card on, I think it was Terry Adam or something.
Right.
That British guy, he had that wheel kick, and then he kind of won a few and lost one, won a few and lost one. But if he can stay as crisp as he was against Pettis, I think he can really maybe get a run going.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he might have some problems too, because I think Pettis stood at the exact wrong distance to win this fight. If you look at the Cowboy fight, Cowboy worked a little bit closer to Barbosa, and it threw him off. He couldn't get those leg kicks in. He couldn't get off some of that stuff on a grimier, dirty boxing kind of fighter. But it turned out, I think from this fight, what nobody, even some of the best analysts out there, really saw happening was Pettis pretty much stood right at the end of Barbosa's kicks. They had kind of the same repertoire and the same stuff, but Barbosa was just able to pull that trigger faster. He got off faster, he got off cleaner, and it just turned into, I wouldn't say a miraculous win, but a pretty surprising win for the real MMA fans out there that are in the know. I mean, that was a good, solid win for that guy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely has a lot of credentials to his resume, and I like to see where he goes next. There's a lot of people in that division,
Well, I mean, everyone says that is a murderer's row division. That's the 155 division is just hell on wheels. I mean, it's part of why you see Cowboy trying to jump up to 170. It's why you see Benson Henderson jumping up to 170 over in Bellator. And I'm here to tell you, if you guys didn't see that fight, that was not a good look for Benson Henderson. Koreshkov won all 5 rounds, hand down. Benson did not look good, and it wasn't a fun fight to watch. Like, don't go back and watch it if you missed it. It's not a good fight. Benson just didn't look like he was able to compete with the strength and power of a real 170-pound guy, which begs the question to me, if Ben Askren beat that guy, and now he's off in 1FC or wherever on the other side of the world where you have to watch him at 3 in the morning, like, poor Ben Askren, where are you, brother? Get out of the minor leagues and come back and fight someplace real, because if you're beating up guys that are beating up Benson Henderson, you should not be fighting no-names over in Japan. That's complete aside, but, I mean, you see a lot of these guys jumping up to 170 now, because that 155 weight class is just vicious. I mean, I think that, honestly, I'm surprised RDA still has the belt. That belt, to me, is one of those belts that I expect to change hands once a year almost. I don't expect anybody to really reign for a long time. And I think that's why I personally picked against Pettis. I just think that it's going to be a revolving door at 155. I think all these guys are great. I still want to see all of them fight. I'll still pay money to watch Pettis fight. It's just a tough weight class.
Khabib's my dude.
Khabib, that's your call?
Yeah, I like Khabib, man. He's my guy.
Well, and to Khabib's credit, I mean, his last fight was great, but it was against a relatively unknown guy who, had a few Bellator fights, and it was on short notice. But Khabib has just had a terrible string of luck, too, not unlike Anthony Pettis. And I'm starting to worry about him, too. It's like, we need Khabib to get back in there against the top guys. He's got this unbeaten streak, but I think I want to see him get the time, get some rounds in with some of these guys that are on that murderer's row. And fine, let him fight for the belt. I don't care. But, like, we got to get Khabib in there. And now he's waiting. Going to sit out Ramadan, I think. So he's not going to probably be back until late summer, early fall at the soonest. So, I mean, he keeps having these things that kind of take him out of the conversation. Yeah, I mean, he has had several setbacks. But, he beat Dos Anjos. Like, I mean, it's just a fight. They can mark the hell out of it. It's a money fight. It's the fight I want to see. I mean, right now RDA is going to be fighting on a Fight Pass card, which is amazing to me.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, I have Fight Pass, so I'm stoked. But man, the people who don't, like, dude, you're going to miss a huge title fight that week of UFC 200 because it's going to be just purely on Fight Pass. So, and I wish Khabib was in that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the guy. I agree with you. And one of my favorites at 55 is El Kukui, Tony Ferguson. I just think I'm amazed by that guy every time I see him. Not because I thought originally that he was the best in the world, but he's a guy that I think is putting it together like other people aren't doing. I mean, every time you see him in the cage, he's coming with something new. He's coming with new Darce chokes or new jiu-jitsu or new boxing or wrestling stuff. This guy is very quickly becoming a really well-rounded fighter that I think people are going to have to reckon with. And even if he doesn't win the title his first time up to bat, I think he's one of those guys that he's going to be around another 6 or 7 years. And I think he's going to put the hurt on a lot of guys at the top of that weight class, too. He's another one on that murderer's row.
Yeah, I'm sad that happened. I really wanted to see them two tie up. That would have been a great one.
Absolutely. I mean, that was one of the fights that I was looking forward to in this stretch on this current cycle of, or whatever UFC's calling these cycles these days. That was one of the ones I was really looking forward to. And it's a darn shame that fight didn't go off. But again, it doesn't matter because, hey, let me see Barbosa and Kukui now. I don't care. Put him in there with anybody. I'll watch those fights. I mean, they're just exciting, and those are the guys that are going to mix it up and really show you something. And speaking of just flat-out murders, Demetrius Johnson versus Henry Cejudo. This is a freaking Olympian, a gold medalist to boot, not even just a regular Olympian. This is a guy who got all the way to the big show for wrestling, the biggest show you can get to, and won it all. And DJ just put it on this guy. What did you think about that fight?
I thought, like, Henry looked really strong at the beginning, with his takedowns and stuff, and but then just Demetrius, he just changed his game plan and just killed him. He just killed him. And how good is that guy? When he was at 135, I thought he fought Cruz for the belt, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
And he came up short, and I was just like, damn, because it felt like he would never beat Cruz when that happened.
Right.
And they made that 125, and now he's just the king. And now it's like, who's going to beat this guy? And I don't see.
And I just didn't imagine that was going to happen either. To me, when they created the 125, and I had even heard kind of talk of this, that weight class was pretty much created for John Dodson. And John Dodson fought Demetrius twice and could not get it done. DJ is turned into a monster. And Cejudo got the takedown in that first round. I saw that takedown. I was like, oh, snap. Here we go. DJ is finally, the code has been cracked. This is it. Cejudo's got the secret weapon. He's going to take him down, grind him out. But DJ was up in, I don't even know how fast.
Yeah, he just knows what to do at all times, apparently. And he can just stop an Olympic level wrestler and knock him out and just, that's what I'm saying. What's next for him? Who's there? I don't even know who's there. He's beat Ian McCall like twice, I think, hasn't he? Or I'm not sure if he's beat him twice.
I don't know. That's where we're at. That's where we're at in this division. There's a couple of guys maybe that he hasn't faced yet, but they're not the top of the division. John Dodson's gone up to 135. He's literally sent probably the other best guy in the division packing.
Yeah.
And Dodson stands a good chance at 35 of doing some real damage and probably getting himself in the title mix up there. He's got a win over TJ Dillashaw, given it was an Ultimate Fighter win, so it's not a recorded win. But he's the guy who took DJ Dillashaw out and kept him from being the Ultimate Fighter champion. And now he's up at 135. I don't know. Maybe, a lot of people are calling for DJ to go up to 135. He doesn't seem like he wants to do that. He seems like he's content to just demolish all of Anderson Silva's records and stay at 125, which I don't think is going to lead him to big money or big accolades during his career. But I think after his run in the Octagon, people are going to look at DJ and they're going to not even with a question are going to know he was one of the greatest of all time.
For sure, and I think that's what he should do. I think just going to 135, man. He's a really small guy. I don't know. Dominique Cruz, as long as he's there, he beat him really convincingly the last time. I wouldn't do. I don't know. I'm not him, but that's a big risk.
Yeah, and you might not think that 10 pounds makes that big a difference in some of those weight classes, but for a guy like Dodson, he fought at 155 for half of his early career because he couldn't find fights at lighter weight classes. So I think he might be a little more prepared for it. DJ might not be able to go up, and I know a lot of people think that he should go up to Cruz and just to test himself, but why? The guy is at a weight class. It's a weight he can make. He should be, if he wants to, if he doesn't want that challenge of being up at that weight class, he should be allowed to just dominate his weight class. We've seen dominant champions before, and yeah, they do get boring sometimes, but, at first you might be bored with them, like everyone was bored with Anderson Silva's run for a while. And there was a period in time where Anderson Silva was not that popular. Same with Jose Aldo. But then after a while, you're like, wait, now I'm starting to appreciate this. What this guy does is an art form, and I will pay money just to watch him run over somebody. And hopefully I hope that DJ gets to that point where people are actually excited about just seeing him put the hurt on somebody, because that's what he does every time.
Yeah, these highlight reel knockouts and submissions and stuff, they're going to start catching people's eyes. For a while, at the beginning he had some decisions and stuff, and that kind of, people don't like decisions as much. That's just,
right.
They just don't like it. But now he's really just been demolishing guys the last few times. So I hope he does start getting that recognition. He deserves it.
Well, and this was basically a knee that did the job. He's kneeing him. He's showing, this was a Muay Thai style knockout is what this was. He came with a close, tight Muay Thai game. that he switched up to in the middle of that round and just crumpled Cejudo. And I was like, okay, now people said he didn't have knockout power when he started, but then he starts knocking people out. Now people said he didn't have dirty boxing or inside work. He was all just footwork and movement. Now he came on the inside on somebody, put some knees right up in his ribs and took him out. So what is left? I mean, he might actually be the pound for pound champ. I don't know if I believe in these pound for pound rankings, but all said and done, currently fighting right now, he might just very well be it.
Yeah, I could see that for sure, man. I think Joe Rogan said that at the end, that he thought he was, and I could see that for sure.
Well, and it's tough because leading in, and this is a great segue into the title fight, which is another fight I want to talk to you about, because I'm sure you got some good opinions on this thing. The guy who a week ago today I would have said is still the pound for pound champ, no matter what anybody said, would be John Bones Jones. This fool has had a career, and other than the one asterisk blemish on his career from Matt Hamill, is really undefeated. But we're not just talking undefeated like normal guys. We're talking like beat former champions, beat the best in the world, and has really taken it to a whole division. Outside of the ring troubles aside, John Bones Jones was a nightmare for that whole division. And I said this on my podcast last week, that he takes it to guys with their style. And he said the scariest thing last week, he said that he was going to fight OSP southpaw. He's not a southpaw. And sure enough, when that bell rang, I'm like, oh my God, John Jones just did it. He went lefty, and I think it really did throw OSP off, to the point where OSP started standing traditional halfway through that first round. And I know Jones looked a little rusty, but you got to give him credit for the fact that something he did at the very beginning of the fight probably won him the whole fight easily, by throwing OSP off right from the very start.
That's the biggest thing about him, man. He always, like you said on that on your podcast, he always fights the other guy's style, like he did with Chael, like he did, everybody. He always goes in their way, and he freaking just. It's unreal the things the guy can do when he puts his mind to it. And he's been out for a long time, still with a little bit of rust. And OSP landed a couple good shots,
He did. He's a tough guy.
I was there at Strikeforce Nashville, man. OSP was on the dark match, and the one where the brawl broke out between the DS crew.
Oh yeah.
And Miller and all that stuff. I was there, and OSP's wife was literally right next to me.
Oh my gosh.
And he knocked the dude out in 11 seconds, and she was screaming her head off. She was like, "That's my husband! That's my husband!" And it was awesome, man. So I've kind of always had like a sentimental spot in my heart for him, from being there, literally right next to his wife and seeing how happy she was, Because that's just awesome to see someone do that. Because he was on his career started kind of iffy. He lost some.
Right.
I think he was on he had a losing record at the time, I think, when I've seen him. And then he started building the thing, and he got the UFC, and he did well. And he looks pretty good. But Jones, man, I think he's still going to be I think he's going to get back on the track, and he's going to be the pound-for-pound king, man. That's what I think.
Well, I mean, I think the real question stemming from this fight, for anybody who didn't see it, basically, John Jones won. It was a very clear victory, but at the same time, it wasn't the same level of excitement that John Jones normally brings. It wasn't quite as clean and as crisp. He didn't really hurt OSP visually that much, but we found out after the fact that OSP had a broken arm, which is like, okay, that's no joke. And kudos to OSP for staying in there that whole time. I don't know exactly when the break occurred, but geez, but at the same time, you would think that if John Jones put that kind of hurt on another man, you expect to see a little more of it in the ring. You expect to see him take that dude out. And we didn't really see that from John this time. I think a little bit of that killer instinct was not quite there. He says it was because of the last minute replacement. Who knows? I don't know if that's really what would cause him to be a little off his game like that or not, but I can't take it away from the man one way or the other that He went in there. He did what he had to do to win. And, yeah, maybe it wasn't as impressive as we all expected. But kudos to OSP for that.
I feel like John Jones is kind of like he takes emotion into things. You know, when he fought Rashad, he said I felt like he could have finished him a couple times.
Yeah,
but I felt like he didn't do it because of respect. You know, so I don't know if he was just thrown off because he wanted to kill Daniel Cormier so bad, and he just wanted to beat OSP. You know, I don't know if it was just ring rust or whatever, but I felt like maybe he fights some emotion or something. I don't know.
Well, I think that is the one thing to still look forward to, though. That is the element that wasn't present in this fight. There was not that level of distaste and dislike for each other that Jones and Cormier have that you are going to get when they fight again. At this point in time, it's Tuesday afternoon right now when we're recording this. It has not been announced whether or not they're going to be on UFC 200. That could come out tomorrow. Cormier was at the doctor's office yesterday getting his MRIs done. I'm sure Jones is waiting on his medical clearances from his fight, but I'm pretty sure he's good to go. So that announcement could happen, and I think that vitriol and that hate that these guys have, I mean, it is like something we see in wrestling, but in wrestling they write most of that. You know, it's not always a shoot. These guys, I really think it's pretty much all shoot. You know, they may come up with a couple of funny things to say here and there, but it's because they legitimately do not like each other. I mean, after the fight, you know, John Jones was very respectful in the ring and everything, and as he's walking away, Cormier's sitting there doing commentary. He throws him the bird. It still happened. Yeah, he gave him the finger as he's walking out the cage, and I was about to turn it off and turn on the post-fight stuff, and there he is. John Jones flips Cormier off, and Cormier's just sitting there like, man, I just talked nice about you through this whole match, and here you go starting this shit again.
The money fight, dude. There's so much money. Like, everyone's just going to throw their fucking cash at that. It's going to be some big shit. The whole lead up, the press conference. I mean, the last time they had to break them the fuck apart, and it was a huge ordeal.
Oh, yeah, Cormier threw a shoe at him.
Yeah. This time, who the fuck throws a shoe, honestly, man?
I know.
You know, I mean, it's going to be unreal to lead up this time. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait. You know, when this gets announced, whenever the fuck it happens, it's going to be great. You think they're going to do it now? You think they're going to try to do 200? You don't think they'll try to save it?
Well, I mean, the real question is, for guys like you and me, does that fight supplant Diaz versus McGregor? Is that fight big enough to make us not mad at the UFC if this Conor McGregor thing doesn't get wrapped up? Because as of right now, Conor's just trolling the internet, saying, I'm back on the card, everything's fine, much respect to Dana and Lorenzo. And Dana's out there saying that that's complete nonsense, and the fight is not back on. It absolutely is not happening at UFC 200. Stay tuned for fight announcements. I mean, so I think the real question is, you know, is Jones Cormier big enough for us fight fans to not be mad at the UFC for losing McGregor Diaz?
I think I would rather see Jones Cormier. I think so myself.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think so for sure. It's an actual competitive. I mean, to me, it's more competitive because I feel like McGregor was. I mean, I don't know. He looked really strong in the first round, but he beat the shit out of Diaz, and if he couldn't knock Diaz, what's going to happen next? I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like he needs to spin that 145-pound belt. That's what he needs to do. That's what I think he should do.
Well, and I think Dana wants him to do that too, and I think that's part of why this whole thing has gone as far as it has, because I think Dana's sitting there going, look, Conor, you asked us for this damn fight. I mean, no one should forget that. Conor booked that fight. Conor booked himself versus Diaz at UFC 200. Dana was like, all right, we'll make a couple bucks off of it. Sure, we'll go for that. But I don't think Dana was ever over the moon about that fight. I don't think anybody was. Now, it started to become something, and now I think with all this hubbub, people want to see it even more. But I think that people are starting to forget that this is a fight about nothing. It's a guy that Conor already lost to. It's a guy that's bigger, that's got good hands and a strong chin. It's not a great fight for Conor. And sure, it'd be fun to see him try it again to see if he could pull it off, but it doesn't have any narrative other than that. It has no other storyline other than these guys are going to say F you a bunch to each other, and then they're going to get in there and they're going to fight hard. We know that, which is entertaining for us fans, but there's no belt on the line. There's no real legacy on the line there. And people say, no, Conor's got to do it for his legacy and blah, blah, blah. What if he wins? So what? They're 1-1. Great. Then we have to see a rubber match when they're both 35. Awesome. Like, I don't care. You know?
Exactly.
And I just think that the luster from this fight is starting to wane. And I think it's bad news for Conor because I think there are other big fights. You know, Robbie could still get moved on to that card. Robbie versus Tyron Woodley, or maybe GSP if they could bring him in, or something like that, could easily go on that card and be bigger than a Conor fight. The John Jones DC fight is bigger than the Conor Nate fight, you know, and arguably the Jose Aldo Frankie Edgar fight could potentially be bigger. I mean, it's got more ramifications at this point because that belt is most likely going to turn into the real belt at this point if Conor doesn't seriously get his act together and go back to 145.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I mean, Edgar, I think, could beat Conor at any time, honestly. That was the one guy I thought would take him because Edgar's just, his chin is unreal. I mean, you know, Gray Maynard beat him like a freaking, it was like a murder in the ring. He just bounced around and came back.
Yeah, and Gray's a big boy too. I mean, Gray is probably as heavy-handed as Conor.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I feel like that Edgar was a guy that Conor did not want to fight. So I don't know, you know. I feel like that could be a big deal. You know, that should probably become the main belt because I don't think Conor, if he fucks around some more and he goes against Nick again, I think he might lose again, and I don't know what he'll do after that. Especially he's already talking about retiring after one loss.
Honestly, I want to see Conor messing around. I want to see Conor become more of a Chael Sonnen character. I want to see him get big fights that don't necessarily matter, where he can hype it up, talk the talk, go in there against somebody that we all know is fun, like Diaz. I like Conor in that role better than trying to hold up a whole division or to take on all comers at 145. He told that story. He sung that song. It was really entertaining to watch. He pulled it off, maybe whether it was luck or skill. And I'm not saying the guy's not skilled. He's very skilled, but you know, he was facing some tough guys. He had some good circumstances, like the short notice on Chad Mendez, I think was very good for Conor. But you know, I don't know if I want to see him down there really trying to hold up that whole division or even being in the mix. And I think him going back down to 145 and losing is more of a career killer than him messing around at 155 or losing again to Diaz. You know, and I like what he does for the sport. I love him talking smack because we're wrestling fans. Let's be honest. I'm a wrestling fan. I love what Conor does, man. And when he posted that retirement tweet, the thoughts of him possibly going to WWE or into wrestling blew my mind. I mean, I can't even see the guy wrestling. Like, who knows? He probably can't even wrestle. Like, he can't even probably do a leg drop. But just the fact of seeing that guy talk on the microphone on a regular basis lit my mind on fire.
I mean, I love it. That's what I wanted. I was all for it. That's what I wanted to happen. That's what I voted on your poll. I voted WWE.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that guy just talk? I paid money to see him talk. I mean, how many people have that kind of charisma out there? I mean, he's one of the few. He's one of the few.
He's got the gifts, man. He's a big money draw, and I think, I don't know, the reason why I don't want him to lose, as long as he lose over and over, you know, after he loses so many times, then how many times can he have a, you know, convincing sell with just his mouth, you know? And if he loses to Diaz and he does some more bigger fights with bigger guys, and he keeps losing, I mean, what will happen then, you know?
Well, I think as both of the Diaz brothers themselves have proven, there is a certain thing about how you lose, too, that will determine that, I think. I think if all of the losses are as ugly as I think that one was to Diaz, I mean, Diaz really caught him, and he did tap a little bit fast. Not that I wouldn't tap that fast myself, but at the same time, like, you know, it did not look good. And if there's a lot of them like that, then you got a problem. But if he's in there and he's losing decisions and he's banging out fights and putting on exciting fights that are competitive, I think he could lose 8 or 9 times before it becomes a real problem. but he has to be in there and be competitive, like Nick Diaz, like Nate Diaz, like those kind of guys are, like even Robbie Lawler through a lot of his career. I mean, nobody thought Robbie Lawler would be a champion at this point in time, and nobody even thought that he was going to hold the belt through these fights that he's had. But he's going in there and he's slugging it out. And I'm here to tell you, just like Rory McDonald and Robbie Lawler, just like these fights are just barn-burning bangers. And if Conor has those kind of fights, he can stay around forever. I mean, maybe that's not good for his health. Maybe that's not good for his longevity, and maybe he doesn't want to get beat up like that. But at the same time, I think if you're an exciting fighter, you can lose, and it's fine. And we look at it just like wrestling then. We look at it like, oh, man, you went out there, you did the work. You know, you didn't get over that time, but we'll see you next time, and we'll be happy to see you down the line. You know, I hope Conor can stay in that kind of mix.
I mean, if it's paying for his Ferraris and his expensive suits and stuff, and I'm all for it. I mean, he has the mouth, you know. I mean, it's always entertaining to build up. I just, you know, I want him to be, as long as he can stay competitive.
Right.
You know, as long as he can stay competitive.
And that's the real trick. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. Hopefully we'll get some more news about this UFC 200. And J-Man, you are always welcome on this podcast, my friend. We're definitely going to have you back. I want to have you on one of these times when I have Byron and Casey with me so we can all talk some lucha too, because I really want to talk to you at some point about some of your temple experiences. And you and I both know we can't talk about all those until they air. But I definitely want to have you on the show where we can talk about the first Lucha Underground that we were both at together, for sure, brother.
All right, man. That sounds good. And next time we come back, Urban's coming, man. We've already booked flights and stuff. I'm not going to say any dates, but it's happening.
All right. Well, I got to be there then. I got to make sure I'm there. I travel a lot, but at the same time, I will go out of my way to be at that one because I still have not met Urban.
Uh-oh. You're in for a treat.
He's like the one person in the whole Lucha clique that I have not met yet. So, Urban, me and you, brother, we got to dance. You got to show up. I got to show up. We got to both be there at the same time. We got to do this.
He's booked his flight, man. It's done. Urban's in.
All right. Well, I'll be there. I'll be there with my new Lucha clique Rudo shirt on.
All right, brother. That's Lars the Butcher to design that one, man.
Yeah, and all of you people listening, you better get on ProWrestlingTees.com right now and get that shirt. Get all your Last Real Heels merch, baby. I'm putting the plug in for them because I'm buying that stuff, so you better be buying it too.
Damn right. Sounds good to me. Watch out for LuchaClick.com. Big things are coming.
Oh, can't wait, can't wait. All right, brother. I will get at you. See you on the other side. Let me get back to the rest of this podcast.
All right. Thank you, brother.
All right. Big thanks to J-Man for basically filling in for Byron, sorry ass. But Byron doesn't really talk a lot of MMA anyway. So thanks to J-Man for calling in, doing us a solid, man. I really appreciated talking to you about that stuff. And like I said, J-Man is another one of those guys that really knows his stuff, dude. Mm-hmm. So when we recorded that was Tuesday, people. And as you heard us say, we were pretty, confident that something was going to get announced the next day at Madison Square Garden. Yeah. Sure enough, it did. Your new headliner for UFC 200 is John Jones versus Daniel Cormier.
DC. I'm a big DC fan.
You're a big DC fan. Okay. Here's how I feel about DC. I think DC is the Roman Reigns of UFC.
Oh, no, man.
He's getting booed left and right. Nobody really wants him to see the belt. They feel like the belt's not even really legitimate that's on him. Like, he's not a real champion. He's just holding it because other dudes are out, because there's no Cena. There's no... like, DC is the Roman Reigns of UFC. Sadly, for WWE, I don't know who the John Jones for WWE is, though. Because at least in UFC, we've got John Jones.
Ooh.
I don't know who would be the John Jones in this situation.
There isn't one, no.
That's kind of the problem with Roman Reigns right now.
Like, it would be Dean Ambrose if they turned him, maybe?
I don't know. So, but we got the big announcement. This means a couple of things that are pretty big in the MMA world. It means that Conor is probably... definitely not going to be on UFC 200. It looks like Dana's really not backing down. Even in the press conference, he's saying, we'll probably see Conor on a 201, 202, or 203.
Yeah.
That also means that he's not really considering Conor for the Madison Square Garden card.
Which sucks, man. That's such a huge show.
Yeah, Conor's coach, John Kavanaugh, even said that he was really bummed out that if Dana was going to lord the MSG show over them or punish them with that.
It's kind of a dick move there.
I mean, I don't know, man. This smells of Dana really sticking it to Conor at this point. Like, Dana's just kind of like, yeah, bro, you might be our biggest fighter, but you're still just a fighter, and we're the promotion. And I don't know how I feel about that. Like, on one hand, it's like, you got to live up to your obligations. You got to live up to your contracts. But I also don't know if I believe personally that one person isn't above the fray. And as a fan of MMA, I love what Conor's done for the sport. I love the things that he's out there doing. Just like, when Hogan came on WCW and turned and people were throwing sodas and stuff at Mean Gene and Hulk Hogan, it like changed my whole childhood and I popped for it. I started watching wrestling again and hadn't been watching a ton of wrestling. That started the whole Monday Night Wars. So whether you like Hulk Hogan or Hollywood Hogan or Terry Bollea, whatever you want to call the dude, whether you like him or not, there's that moment in time where it's like, oh my God, this dude started the game and made the game big in his big first run, and then he changed the game again.
Yeah. Became the top heel. That's just...
Became the top heel. I feel that way about Conor McGregor to a certain point, and like, okay, he had his Hulk Hogan run, and I'm waiting for the moment where now maybe because there is this issue with him and Dana and the brass at UFC, for him to basically go Hollywood Mystic Mac. Like,
oh shit,
I want to see the big turn where maybe he just turns on everyone and he goes totally psycho. Like, I wanted so bad to see Conor McGregor show up at this press conference, fly himself in, sit in the front row, and just be like, how come I'm not on the card?
Yeah, ask that question. Wave a ticket in the air, you know?
Oh, man. Are you afraid of another $400 million? Like, I don't know. I kind of want to see Conor go full heel at this point in time and just...
The imitation's just killing me.
Throw up fingers to everyone right now.
Yeah. He needs to be as hated as the Diaz brothers.
Well, and here's why the Diaz brothers are so hateable and so lovable at the same time. Nate Diaz was not at this press conference. Dana gave him a chance to be at the first one, but all that Nate said at the first press conference was like, yeah, man, if it ain't Conor, then whatever. I don't care. Fuck it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much what he always says. Like, the dude at this point in his career is like, he just made his biggest paycheck ever, so he's not exactly hurting for money. I mean, if he's still living on the budget he was living on before, from getting $40,000 a fight to now getting 500,000 plus pay-per-view points or whatever, like, he probably made a cool $1 million off in that last fight.
I think Meltzer said he made well over $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking he probably did, and it probably helped him with his outside sponsorships.
But fuck Dave Meltzer, just saying.
But so anyway, I mean, the guy's just like, yeah, if it's not Conor for big money, I don't care. Like, I don't think he wanted to hear other big names being thrown at him. He didn't care about hearing Khabib's name or even GSP's name, I don't think.
I'm not fighting fucking Khabib if I'm...
Well, anybody who's fighting Khabib is crazy. Yeah. Part of the reason why I like Tony Ferguson, El Kukui, because I think El Kukui will be the guy to step up and fight him. And win or lose, I think it's going to make both of those guys finally into the stars that they probably should be. And I know JMAN is a big Khabib fan, and I'm a big Tony Ferguson fan. That's why we need to see that fight. We need to get that fight back on the books. Dana, please give us that fight. Give us Khabib versus Ferguson.
Ooh, yes, please.
We need that fight.
I mean, I'm gonna fucking buy the show anyway, but come on.
Yeah, that's a big fight, and I was sad when that one fell apart. So, I was looking down the card, and it's like any of these fights, except maybe Sage Northcutt's fight, could be a headliner of a Fox Sports card.
Right.
And
man, it's 200. This is amazing to me as someone who's been a fan since UFC 2.
Right.
That it's at 200 right now. It's just fucking nuts, man.
Right. And this is for a company too that's not numbering every single show. Like the Fox Sports shows and the Fight Pass shows and the regular Fox shows don't even count in that number.
No.
I don't even know how many total UFC events there have been, but in the past few years, man, they have stepped it up. I mean,
seems like there's one every week now.
Well, yeah, and it's like it was amazing 4 years ago when they went to almost the WWE model of doing a pay-per-view every month.
Right.
You know, that was like, everyone was like, oh, that's too much MMA. This will never work. Mm-hmm. And at first, it was a little slow. There were some serious duds. There was a couple cards in there that I either didn't pay for and I went to like a B-dubs or someplace to watch them, or when I did pay for them, I was like, I could like to have that $50 back in my pocket.
There were some regrettable shows in there.
There was
definitely.
a couple, but then it started to pick up, and I think the good part about it was UFC realized the need for stars to a certain extent. Yeah. And they did have an issue where for a while, like John Jones, Anderson Silva, and GSP really like were their only stars. Like they had kind of Kane and Jr. at the top, but those guys weren't fighting that much, and Shane Carwin was in and out, and like the belt up at the top was moving around too much to really make a huge star after Brock was kind of out of the picture.
And 205 would move around a lot, but that's what I liked about 205.
Well, 205 got really exciting in the period between Chuck Liddell and John Jones.
Right.
Nobody seemed to be able to hold the belt for more than a fight. Like Forrest Griffin had it for one fight. Rashad had it for one fight. Machida had it for a couple, I think. Shogun had it for a little bit. Like Rampage, the belt just moved, man. That 205 belt was just like the hot potato,
as opposed to now where most of the belts are moving like because of injuries and shit. That just kind of, there's a lot of interim stuff going on the last year or so.
Well, and it goes to DJ's credit from his fight this past week that he says he doesn't want to jump up. A lot of people are calling for him to fight Dominic Cruz or Dillashaw, or maybe move up to 135, but I mean, the guy has earned the right to just dominate at 125 if he really wants to. It's not ever going to pop huge numbers, but if that's the legacy that he wants, that he was the most dominant, the first and only right now UFC flyweight champion, and then one of the most dominant champions of all time, if that's the legacy that he wants to leave, I think that story itself can become exciting after a while.
And I mean, his fights are exciting as fuck, man. I just love the speed to everything in these lower weight classes. And see, that's the other thing that they did that made these pay-per-views monthly better, is we have women fighting and we have more weight classes.
Yeah. And there's been some talk. They've announced a flyweight women's fight now, I think. So there's been some talk, and people are wondering. And Cyborg is coming in and fighting at a catchweight 140. So I mean, potentially in UFC, you could see a 125 belt, something in between their two current belts, and then you could potentially see a 145 belt or division up above it. I mean, I would feel bad for Invicta because I really like Invicta, but being realistic, it's not as big a show. And I love you, Julie Kedzie, and I love what you and Shannon are doing with Invicta. At the same time, UFC might just raid you guys out, but if there's still, I think there's still room for Invicta, even if they do add more women's weight classes in the UFC. And I think that Dana was smart in playing it slowly. You pick two weight classes that you can push a lot of fighters into. But there's a lot of fighters right now that would benefit from having some different weight classes. Like I think maybe you see a Jessica Ai. She's been really good at 135 in the women's division. But I think maybe she could get down to 125. And right there, she could be a dominant force and be a name in 25. And I think there's a couple other fighters that...
Because she is small for her division.
Yeah, I think there's a couple other fighters that went up or are cutting too much to get down to 115 right now. So maybe another division in there. Maybe there are finally enough fighters that it could be exciting. I think they were right to hold off. And maybe they do another Ultimate Fighter where they bring in a bunch of those girls at that weight. But
make that the tournament again.
And that would raid Invicta again probably, which would stink for them. But Invicta's done a great job of rebuilding their ranks and filling in those gaps where they lost the 135 and 115. So maybe they can take more time and with the help from UFC rebuild those divisions, because I think it is a good second place for women to be fighting. I'm looking forward to the Brazil card. I'm looking forward to UFC 200. I gotta watch this Jones Cormier Embedded. Did you hear the fire those guys were spitting at each other at the press conference?
It is wrestling. It is so great.
I mean, but I don't even... But it's not because it's a shoot.
No, it's a shoot. They fucking hate each other. Because, DC knows what he's doing, though. I mean, the guy grew up a huge-ass wrestling fan. If you've ever heard him on, Stone Cold's podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like he knows his shit. And he knows what he's doing.
He's a student of the game.
But he means everything he is saying.
I agree.
They're not going to shake hands and be friends after this fight.
But he's a student of the game. Like when he knew he was doing commentary on UFC 197, he went and watched like every fighter's fights that he was doing. He did the Fight Pass. He did the main event. Mm-hmm. He talked very neutrally about Jon Jones the whole time. Me and JMAN just were talking about how he Jon Jones threw him the finger at the end of the fight, but it was almost kind of jacked up because DC was actually very favorable to Jon Jones in the commentary in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but he couldn't hear it. He probably thought the dude was burying him the whole time.
Well, but at the same time, he wasn't burying him. And I swear to God, it almost makes Cormier more of a heel. That he is so nice, that he's this Olympian, that he's this smart and intelligent, that he can get on Fox and wear the suits and be the commentator. I think it makes DC just less likable because he's the guy that none of us can be.
Yeah.
I can be Jon Jones. I can get pulled over. I can be a fuck up. Like I can go to the club on the weekend and do some blow and this, that, and the other thing. Like, I can't be Daniel Cormier. I'm never going to the Olympics. I'm never sitting on a Fox desk. I mean, given I'm never going to be Jon Jones either because I'm never going to be a champion. But
that guy, fuck man, he's great. But
at the same time, I feel like crowds are popping for Jon Jones right now because he's more realistic. He's somebody that they can see. They want to see his redemption. They want to see him back in the ring.
Yeah.
His performance this past week didn't do a lot for that. But looking at that fight, thinking about it now, it's like Jon Jones didn't come after it like we wanted him to. But at the same time, he put in good work and he won the fight handily. And OSP was outmatched. Jon Jones came at him lefty, like I said, with J-Man. And like I had predicted last week when he said he was going to do that, he did do that. Don't discount that, people. It threw OSP off. And Jon Jones might still be one of the greatest out there. Don't judge him by that performance. Let's see what he brings against DC, somebody he's got a real game plan for. And I'm excited.
This isn't a warm-up fight like the last one, right? Like, I mean, come on. That was his tune-up bout before this one. And, it being MMA, anything can happen, but come on.
Yeah.
He fought the dude lefty the whole time. That's just...
I got a couple questions on the internet about the Conor situation. Mm-hmm. So here's where I think we're at right now. Dana has said that they're not finished. He said that at the press conference. There might be obviously some smaller matches added to the card. I think they're just going to wait and see who's healthy or who's available to fill in because they're still short a few fights.
Yeah.
And I expect maybe one more big fight. I think they're trying to get one more big fight. If they don't get it, they'll be fine. They've got 3 belts at the top. Mm-hmm. The women's belt, the 205 belt, and an interim 145 belt. Mm-hmm. That's pretty big top of card. That's as big as the first UFC 100 was. It was 3 headlining fights, and the rest was kind of garbagey. Mm-hmm. But so you've got that in place. Maybe we get one more big announcement. I had people asking, do you think Conor will be at 200, this and the other thing? I don't think Conor will be there. I don't think he'll give him the satisfaction of giving their event any kind of rub if he's not on it. Mm-hmm. And I think that he may also end up headlining 201 or 202 or somewhere in there, which also I think means you will not see him fighting Frankie Edgar or whoever wins at 200 next. I think they're going to announce a different fight for Conor first. It may or may not even be Nate.
I hope it's Nate.
It won't be Rafael dos Anjos, and it won't be Frankie or Jose, whoever's going to win that fight. I think your next Conor fight's either going to be back to being Nate or it will be something else. Mm-hmm. Maybe even GSP or something. I don't know.
Hey, I think if it's GSP, that's great.
I still think they're trying to work GSP for UFC 200. I think the problem is just an opponent now. I think maybe they could slide him in there with Nate, but I think Nate was just like, no, I want Conor or forget it.
Right.
Even though the GSP fight would be, I think, almost bigger than a Conor fight for him.
Take the money, Nate. Take the money.
So, but Nate's going to do some negotiating with Dana this week. Dana's finally done with this press thing. We'll see. We'll see where Nate lies. I think he'll talk to Conor this week. I think they'll try to line something else up for Conor. I don't think we'll see it announced until after the next UFC pay-per-view next month. Mm-hmm. So we'll get there. But don't expect Conor to show up at that event. I think at this point, Conor's going to get the slap on the wrist to all of our dismay. It would still be a better UFC 200 if Conor did get a fight for it. Right. I just think he's got to bench him.
And he's going to see a good buy rate for 200 as a fuck you to Conor, too.
He is. It's not going to be as big as it could be with Conor. I think you get, I think you get at least 25% more than what they're going to get if you put Conor on it. But at the same time, no UFC fan's going to boycott. You guys could all say, oh, no, it's nothing without Conor. But at the same time, you're all going to buy it. So
exactly.
Anybody who's listening to this podcast is probably already got plans to be watching UFC 200, even the wrestling fans.
Yeah.
So sadly, that means that Dana, in this particular scenario, there's a lot of other scenarios where Conor would have won. I think with UFC 200, Dana wins this battle, and that's just the final score.
Yeah.
So that's it for this week, folks. Stay tuned next week. Hopefully Byron will be back so we can just call him the bitch that he is for leaving us this week.
Yeah, fuck you, Byron.
Yeah, thanks, Byron. Thanks for nothing, man. Thanks for nothing. Just left us high and dry. So, and I hope you guys still enjoyed it. Last week's episode was our highest rated episode ever, so thank you to everyone who listened last week. Keep listening, and until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix.